your readings. I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yeah!
Well, we don't know where this is going, but obviously the series didn't end where it ended. I wonder if we're just going to slowly pick everyone off through our own failures to be an actual decent human being.
Honestly sounds reasonable.
Because horror, am I right?
Because why not? Because instead of engaging with the abuse and the toxic behavior and the society at large and everything else going on and any of the systemic issues, it's just a horror. It's just unexplained horror. No, actually, I think we can explain it. Nope! Unexplained horror!
Bad things just happen because horror. Or something.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's deeper than that. I'm still hoping. All right,
here we go.
I'm confident that we are all really,
we
can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki?
Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal.
Natsuki! I don't know if I'm interested at all. So interested.
Oh my god! Monika must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle.
I kind of want her to just be pausing where she accidentally had, 5 teacups.
Right?
And then she just kind of puts one back on the tray.
Right?
Like, I really kind of want
it
little
might do
moments
that.
like
We might have it. You never know.
Right.
You keep a whole tea set in the classroom?
Huh. Don't worry. The teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Let me just tell you how it is and call them out immediately and make them uncomfortable. You know what? At the end of the day, while we're going to blame everything on you, it could have been my meddling that really made everything bad. But gods love to blame other things on other people. And by that, I just mean immortal beings who are, stuck in cycles that are more like a process. Or, maybe I'm more like eating the souls as you fail, blaming it on you. Anyway, she's fine. She's just showing off. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that,
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least, dignified as I am and filled with class and culture, I at least enjoy tea.
Splat every one of their pinkies.
The sun.
Yes.
It tells me.
The high class. I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
Because I know it's relief. So, Splat, what kinds of things do you like to read? Holding your teacup.
Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't actually have a good way of answering that because you don't read an anime or manga. Like, reading is made up. Reading is for fools.
I do not do subtitles because that is terrible. So I just listen to it in the Japanese.
Right?
Yeah.
Manga.
Splat, I noticed there's another teacup on the tray. Why is there one more? Oh.
I mutter quietly to myself, half joking, but really, I mean it seriously because, fuck all the rest of y'all. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
No, not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change, baby.
If I'm trying to get a girl out of it, I suppose I could perform the read.
Right, I could do the reading, but why the fuck I need you guys to put me up or, need you as a part of me who is a whole and complete experience all on my own? I don't know. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway,
I'm not invested in this. I realize I'm saying things that I don't really mean.
And I don't really fucking care about. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
Makes a slight soft ringing sound. She gets the
right?
pitch perfect.
You're like, ooh.
Ooh. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. I kind of want to cut in our old voice acting for this.
Uh-huh.
Like if I had the time and easy software so
Oh,
that it was
God.
just a little bit more surreal, so it's exactly the same as we read it last time.
Right?
That would be so interesting, but I am not putting that level of work into this. I do not have 1, enough followers, and 2, enough time.
Yeah, we don't.
But I'll just
It's okay.
nod that, and if you want to put that in your head, go for it.
Yes.
And telling a good story is such a foreign world. In such a foreign world is equally impressive. World building is hard.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people.
Well,
honestly, like, mood, fuck people, am I right?
Yeah, by the way, you can actually engage with what's on the page in a completely controlled way in your own environment.
And it's also usually more safe, which is why they talk about in terms of, like, fiction is not reality, of exploring things or taking control of things or basically writing the narrative of your own internal experience. Sometimes it's really nice and really empowering. Even if it's something that is a horrible thing that you might personally find to read, it is sometimes a thing that people use to cope.
Yeah, and other times people write something that could be considered very dark or very horrible because in that circumstance they can explore all their thoughts and experiences on it and be completely safe because they're writing it, so they have the limitations there.
All right, well, here's the $1 million question. So here's mine, actually. So I was kind of wondering if they were pushing us towards Sayori because we picked a lot of Sayori in the last one, or if it was we really were just getting poked towards Sayori because the ending was going to be set with Sayori. So as we read on the Wikipedia pages we mentioned in the last episode, which is why we continued the series after episode
Otherwise,
59.
we might have just walked away from this game and known no better.
Yeah, was actually that they're going that there is supposedly in the way that the Wikipedia writes, and I don't want spoilers, but this is me just sort of talking out loud, of going that I think you were supposed to still end up, I guess, then with watching Sayori die or running across.
Based on what the Wikipedia says, that always happens no matter what you do.
Right, and that you can be more, I guess, or less friendly towards Sayori in your options, but you're still going to deal with that anyway.
Yes.
Or if that was just a thing that they're doing because they're just still trying to give you the illusion of having a choice in this game, or what? I don't know.
Anyway.
But,
I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually impress me as well.
Immerse.
Are you immersed yet? Oh,
no.
Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Or basically deliberately mislead you by setting up tropes that they assume you as a reader are familiar with and guiding you in that direction based on the assumed social knowledge that you have, and then 180 it because they basically deliberately did a garden path in your psyche of going, I'm telling you with all the right markers we're going here. Ha! I didn't go there.
Right.
And you're like, oh, well, I just wasn't creative enough. You were plenty creative. They just drove you in a direction you were trained to go in.
And also at the same time, too, believe it or not, most people don't really read stories actively going, no. I see what you're doing. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why I think we're sometimes really funny, even just to myself, of going, because we're questioning a lot of the shit. And people are just like, bah! Just let it go. And I'm like, but it's a good question to ask.
Yep.
Because it does leave a lot of, like, other things open, you know?
Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read a horror book once.
Did you?
I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock.
Because I didn't care.
Because I still fucking don't care.
I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Spooky things.
Nah, spoopy.
Oh, is that so?
Scary.
Skeletons.
Yeah.
Really? If a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down, even if I want to. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. It's sort of supposed to make you self-examine or be introspective or change your expectations.
Which is, again, where I'm actually kind of disappointed going, we're really not going to deal with the potential toxic elements that we've brought up.
Maybe we will still. Who knows? Just because they didn't do it in the first round doesn't mean they're not gonna.
Alright. I hate horror.
Oh? Well, why is that?
Oh, It's
scary?
Natsuki's eyes darted over to me for a split second. Never mind.
They are scary. Oh. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? Things that I call cute. And I want to make sure that I call each of you out awkwardly at least once in this initial meeting. It's really important.
Right, to establish personalities. Again. What? What gives you that idea?
You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting, and as we established in the last round that no one remembers but me, I make snap judgments based on one piece of exposure about your entire personality. Looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud! And give that back!
Fine.
Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive.
The fact that you can write it all.
Why don't you share them sometime? I thought you were just too fucking short for it. No!
You don't like mature enough for poetry.
It's like,
too sophisticated for you.
Poetry is always way too sophisticated. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. I'm not a very confident writer yet, I say, from my sassy up on high position of looking down upon you, because it's really fucking easy to do. Like, dude, like you're like toe high.
And also having never needed to write anything ever
at all.
I am completely superior to you.
I
understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing, I'm still the same thing as last time, just going, what makes it a certain level of writing?
Right?
Poetry is super sophisticated. I think they really are talking about, like, that level is just doing poetry instead of other writing.
Right.
So we're not talking about the level of poetry, we're talking about the fact that it is poetry.
Right.
It takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself, which is what poetry must be.
Right.
You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart if you're going to write something genuine and share it.
Right.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable to share hers. You know, we'll just all feel real comfortable here.
Pew.
I still like the actual animated conventions in this game.
Yes.
I like how they shrink away, how they zip off, how they, how the movement of their relatively stagnant sprite nonetheless adds a lot to the simple, individual, illustrations they have.
Right. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in a really fucking awkward silence for a moment.
Everyone takes their tea. I'm drinking tea. That's it. Just drinking the tea.
Right? Nothing's happening here.
Hey. After I slurp down my tea. I just got an idea. How about this?
Is your face burned off?
No, I blew a lot. I'm good at blowing.
What?
So what I was gonna say is,
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own.
Oh my god, we're gonna go through it again.
I know you already have a poem of your own, or that you were working on, Natsuki, but we're all gonna write new poems then. Then next time we meet, we'll share them with each other, and it will sort of help us open up and be that kind of vulnerable and present and everything else, and then we'll all be on equal grounds. Yes! That way, everyone's even. I knew it. Maybe you didn't like that. I mean, I thought it was a good idea because it's the only literature thing that's come up so far, other than a brief mention of that thing, that's got pictures in it. The manga, I guess. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. Suddenly we're in the club again without joining the club.
Right.
Did we join the club yet? Do we protest?
Excuse me.
I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president. After all, I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. I feel like if you're going to have glitches, you should have it when she says vice president.
Right.
To remind you, jar you again.
Right.
This is the thing you're missing. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Splat?
Hold on. There's still one problem.
Let us protest.
Just one.
What's that, honey?
Yeah, fucking boring. Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club! Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought.
As everyone looks at you.
All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes.
One grumpy, one sad, the other one concerned.
Hello.
But, I mean, I guess I said I wouldn't specifically ask you to join. I'm sorry, I thought...
Eh? The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me.
I guess I need to tell you the truth. Splat, we're not allowed to be a club unless we have 4 members. Do it.
I dare ya.
The thing is, we don't... Yes!
Yes!
I was right!
I knew
I
it.
have watched enough anime to know that you are not allowed to have a club unless you have a minimum number of members. Because that seems to be a plot thread in so many of them. At least if there's a school involved.
Like, damn.
We don't have enough members yet to form an official club, so I'm not actually president, and she's not actually vice president. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members, to find at least one other person. And if we don't find one more before the festival,
Goodbye.
we'll lose our,
Yeah, so I am defenseless against these girls. I suppose I will feel somewhat guilty. Because after all, when greatness like this walks through your midst, why wouldn't you try? Like, how am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in the situation. You just would miss out on more of me.
And also, like...
And
It might have a level of drama if I ever saw you again.
Oh,
and I
fuck,
did
right?
want titties, and there are a lot here, mostly.
Mostly. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed, so if,
Everyone looks anxious. Looks pretty relaxed.
looks really, really relaxed. Writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, where clearly the only thing they need from me is me just to be around him. Is it right? Okay.
And all they need to be for me to be satisfied is beautiful.
I've decided
Again.
then.
Alright.
I've decided completely. I'll join the literature club. You may all kiss my feet now.
Everyone, you have feet under there? Oh, I mean,
One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
in very different, distinctive personality ways. Oh, my goodness. Really? You were really like my last actual hope. I mean, I just kind of ran into you, and I've been asking everyone I see. It's getting real awkward. Do you really mean that, Splat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be fun, right? I mean, it's involving me. I am loads of fun.
I am so much fun.
I am great, but I really fucking do not want to be bored, because if I'm ever bored and this has nothing to do with me, I just might, want one of you to die or something.
If I don't feel like this activity is working me towards getting the girl, then I probably will not keep doing it. But as long as it seems like you all are possibly the girl, and I could maybe get one here, then it will be okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
And like they've switched Splat's motivations, and it fits anyway, but in a stupider way.
Oh God, right?
You really did scare me for a moment.
I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed.
Splat, I'm so happy. Let me just dust that under the rug. We can become an official club now. I've got so much paperwork to do. Thank you so much for this. Could you just sign here? You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? What is a great time for you? Because I would like to provide it.
Thanks, I guess.
Like any kind of a great time you could want.
Now, honey, get off me. I'm only available to who I choose.
Okay, everyone. With that out of the way, I think that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. You're going to write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share them out loud with each other.
Monika looks over at me once
meaningfully. Splat, I look forward to seeing how you specifically express yourself in this here, our club that you are now a whole member of.
Yeah. Okay. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I wouldn't call them mediocre. I just call them... I don't fucking care.
Dismissive writing skills.
I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. But I will say that I don't agree. Why would I ever feel anxious about shit where I'm clearly the boss? Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set.
See, they all did just horked their tea down in the awkward silence. Bye!
Bye! I guess I'll be on my way then.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait to be an actual club. And then you walk home by yourself.
With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the three girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika.
That's all I think about.
Really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club?
I didn't even ask them if they meet every day after school. Shit,
Lord.
I know nothing about this club.
And, I love that. I just assume. Of course you would, because why not? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right! I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. I feel like slowly but surely I'm turning into Cartman.
You might be.
I'm
slowly wandering off into the... I'm fading away. Started open cause for the pageantry.
Oh, God.
'Cause I've got to be free. Free to face the life that they had of me. Jesus.
And then they're all over my face. Smell like Jesus. Anyway. All right, well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. We're going to deal with Cartman in the next one.
Yep.
So if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. Got the link in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!